Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji Pranam. Mataji
Pranam
Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanwar Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Mataji Dandavat Pranam.
Dhanwar Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dhanvat Pranams. Wishing you a very happy Nityananda Trayodashi.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So Hare Krishna, everyone. Happy Nityananda Trayodasi. Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur, Jai Shri Shri Pancha Tattva. So today is, unfortunately, sadly, our last day of the Pancha Tattva Seva challenge. But we have another challenge coming up in a few months. So then please get your energy for that one, and please keep this hankering in your heart, because we'll have many more programs and challenges. So I just want to congratulate everybody for completing the Pancha Tattva Seva challenge. I know we have our final Sanga today. We're visiting 2 more islands, the last 2 islands, Modadrumadwip and Madhyadwip. So I just wanted to tell everybody that, so we printed out all of your names. It's very, very small font because we have, and all the prayers. And we have like a whole book for Nityananda Prabhu. It's a whole book of your prayers. It's like more than 100 pages. And we just offered it right before I came and joined you all on Zoom. Your prayers and your names have been offered to Shri Shri Pancha Tattva in Mayapur Dham on Nityananda Trayodasi. The Jai Shri Shri Pancha Tattva Ki Jai. So today we just had a program. Like for the whole day, it's been a program for Nityananda Prabhu. But small Pancha Tattva, they all came down to the platform. If you see, like in Mayapur, like we have a big altar, and then there's the platform. So they came very close to like all the devotees. And the Mayapur devotees had a chance to make boga offerings and, offer it to Pancha Tattva. And the Pujari, he offered all of your names and prayers, and he went through every single page, flipping every single page. So I have a video and I'll share it with you later on the WhatsApp channel. So I was just a little bit worried. I'm like, because, it's such a crowded day. So I thought like, I promised all the devotees I'd offer it today. So I was like worried that I need to offer it before I come on the Sangha. So Pancha Tattva arranged that, everything went smoothly, and they saw all of your prayers. And I even like wrote my prayer in the back as well. I wanted to just make a little few announcements since it's our last Sangha. So as you all know, this is a Bhakti Kids initiative, and this challenge was completely on donation basis, and we're doing it free of cost. But there are lots of expenses that are incurred organizing this challenge, like Zoom and preparing the certificates, and I mean, like there's a lot going on for this, like video editing. And so then I would just like to request, if you would like to contribute, if you had a nice time in this challenge and would like to contribute a little bit for this challenge and for Bhakti Kids, because we are going to organize more and more programs. We'll send like QR code for donation and different options to donate on the WhatsApp channel. I'll send it later if you feel like you want to give something. And then also I'll send out a feedback form either today or tomorrow. So if you'd like to write your experience of how you enjoyed this challenge, also we'll send out a little gift, online gift for everyone who fills up the feedback form. And also we're requesting the devotees, if you want to be part of the Pancha Tattva Seva challenge video. Usually His Holiness Japa Swami, he likes to see everybody's experience. So then for every challenge, we usually get testimonials from everyone, I mean, whoever wants to, and then we make a nice video, we show it to him, and then we also share it on social media. So if you would like to do that. However, we are a lot of people, we're 3,600 who participated. So then we're requesting if you can fill up the feedback form with you can write your feedback, like a longer feedback if you wish, but for the video, if you could just say one word. So we're thinking to have different words or or one sentence like that, because then if everybody sends a 3-minute video, then it's 3 times 3,600. It's a lot, and then we won't be able to fit everybody in. And I really like to make sure that whoever sends a video is part of it. So we'll also send that link in the feedback form. So then when you're filling up the form, then you can attach your video there. So then, yeah, please, that would be the easiest way to organize and to make sure that everything is in one place. So it would be better if you could do it on the Google form rather than sending it to different emails or phone numbers. Then the certificates, we are preparing the certificates. So we're going to send them out the next few days. So we will also send the message on the WhatsApp channel group. I'm just saying this because sometimes I get calls and I get calls during the day, where's my certificate? Where's my certificate? So I promise you, when all the certificates have been sent out, we will post it on the WhatsApp channel. It also takes a long time because there's 3,600, so there's a lot to do. And then finally, I just wanted to also share, Bhakti Kids, we have different books available. Also, we have this new game. It's called Bhakti Charades. So I don't know, in India, I think people call them dumb charades, but we did a Bhakti Krishna conscious version. So there's 200 cards with different words and personalities. You have to act out Mahaprabhu, Lakshman, Sita, Ram, Krishna, and then different pastimes like Gajendra, praying to the Lord, Krishna lifting Govardhan Hill. So this is fun, not only for kids, for youth, for adults, for anything. If you want to get, I'll send a link for this as well. It's just 300 rupees. And then also we published different books. So these are books for kids. It was written for kids, but actually many adults and youth as well find it inspiring, because I mean, all the knowledge that are in these books are from, Srila Prabhupada and our previous acharyas. So it has a lot of information, like this Krishna, my best friend book. It has Krishna's schedule. What does he do in Vrindavan? You could say Ashtakalya Leela. Why does he wear a peacock feather? What are his different flutes? Who are his pets? So it's a lot of different pastimes and different activities, and who are Krishna's friends. And we also have Becoming Your Devotee, part 1 and 2, which is very useful, not only for kids, but also if you're new in Krishna consciousness. It really explains the foundation, the basics of how to practice Krishna consciousness, why do we put on tilak, why do we follow Ekadasi, how to offer bhoga and arti, what are the 9 processes of bhakti. So this also, it's you could say a workbook and also activities. So then we'll also send the links. Yeah, so I wrote these books. So then I just wanted to share with you as part of Bhakti Kids. And yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit about what we're doing. And if you'd like to also support us or volunteer, be part of the team. So we'll send all these links on the WhatsApp channel group. Okay, so now I know that I took a lot of the time, so I'll just share my screen. Okay. Oh, it's so, it's oh, it's our last one, but it's just our last one for this challenge. I'm telling myself this also because I know I got also messages saying, oh, it's the last day, I'm so sad. I also thank you everyone so much for the beautiful drawings that you posted. It's really, really sweet and really nice. Okay. So, Ipsita, do you want to do?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual master, servant of Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya and delivering the Western countries, which are filled with impersonalism and voidism. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Thakur, and all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you. Now, our last round of Japa together for the challenge, so we can put our extra energy and focus into this mantra, into this mala.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna.
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaur Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Svet Vadagadara Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna.
Okay, Vrindarani, do you want to read? So I'll chant the shloka, then you can read the English translation. Okay? We can chant together. Shri Gaura Deshe Suradhirgikayas Tire Turamye Pura Punyamaya Dasantamananda Bharena Nityam Tam Shri Navadvipa Maham Smarami.
In meditation, I recall Sri Navadvip Dham eternally shining, filled with Ananda, oh so charming. There in Goradesha, on the side of the
Dirghika?
Dirgita, along the pure celestial Ganges eastern shore.
Yasmai Paravyo Mavadanti Kechit Chagoloka Itirayanti Vadanti Vrindavanameva Tagyais Tam Shri Navadvipa Maham Smarami. You can keep going, Vrindarani. You can chant a few more and then I'll give the rest to Satyabhama and Krishna Lila.
I meditate on Sri Navadvip Dham, which some say is the spiritual sky of Vaikuntha. Some say is the realm of Goloka, and they who know the truth say it's Sri Vrindavan.
Yasarvadikshu Spuritai Shushitai Nanadrumai Supavanai Parita Shri Gaura Madhyana Vihara Patrais Tam Shri Navadvipa Maham Smarami.
I meditate on Sri Navadvip Dham, where in every direction are cooling breezes and many trees where Lord Gaura enjoyed his noon pastimes.
Shri Swarnadiyatra Vihara Bhumi Suvarna Sopana Nibhada Tira Vyaptormi Virgaura Vagaha Rupais Tam Shri Navadvipa Maham Smarami.
I meditate on Sri Navadvip Dham, where the celestial Mandakini Ganga flows with great pleasure. Her banks are studded with golden stairs, and her playful waves dance in great joy when Gaura Sundar takes his bath in her waters.
Thank you, Vrindarani. Now, Satyabhama and Krishna Lila, you want to finish the rest? So I'll chant the Sanskrit. Mahantyananta Nigrihani Yatra Spuranti Haimani Manoharani Pratyalayam Yam Shayate Sadashris Tam Shri Navadvipa Maham Smarami.
I meditate on Sri Navadvipa Dham, where there are innumerable beautiful golden houses in which Lakshmi Devi resides with her devotees. These houses are so transcendentally charming that they automatically steal one's mind.
Vidyadaya Shanti Mukha Samastai Sadbhir Gunaryatra Jana Prapana Samstuyamana Rishi Deva Siddhais Tam Shri Navadvipa Maham Smarami. You can keep going.
I meditate on Sri Navadvipa Dham, where the perfected souls are ornamented by knowledge, compassion, tolerance, sacrifice, and all transcendental qualities, and who are praised by the sages, demigods, and siddhas.
Yasyantare Mishra Purandarasya Sananda Samyayika Padam Nivasha Shri Gaura Janmadika Leela Dyas Tam Shri Navadvipa Maham Smarami.
I meditate on Sri Navadvipa Dham, where Jagannath Mishra stays happily, where all varieties of bliss reside in Gaura Sundara's lotus feet, and where he took birth and performed other sweet pastimes.
Goro Brahmanyatra Hari Swabhaktai Sankirtana Prema Bharena Sarvam Nimajayatya Ulusha Madabdho Tam Shri Navadvipa Maham Smarami.
I meditate on Sri Navadvipa Dham, where Gaura Hari roamed about with his own devotees, chanting the holy names with great love and submerging everyone in an ocean of prema.
Eta Navadvipa Vichintanadhyam Padyastakam Pritamanapatedya Srimat Sachinandana Pada Padme Sudurlabam Prema Samapniyutsa.
Whoever daily recites and remembers with great affection this astakam to Sri Navadvipa Dham achieves the very rare jewel of prema and the lotus feet of my Sri Sachinandana.
Jai Nitai Gaur. Thank you,
Hari
Satyabhama and Krishna Leela.
Hari.
So even though today is our last Sangha for the challenge, I just encourage everybody, if you like, you can still continue reciting this Navadvip Ashtakam, to meditate on Navadvip Dham. And here, Srila Rupa Goswami is blessing us if we recite it every single day, then he will give us the lotus feet of his Sri Sachinandana. So this is the special blessing that Srila Rupa Goswami is giving us, and we're followers of Rupa Goswami. Like he's the one, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, our previous acharyas, they are the ones that are, instructing us on the path of devotional service. So we need the blessings of our previous acharyas. And one way that we can get their blessings is by, reciting their prayers, remembering their words, following their instructions. So then this is a nice way that we can still connect with the Dham, even if we're far away or even after the challenge, to still carry Mayapur Dham, Navadvip Dham, Pancha Tattva in our hearts every single day, wherever we go. So for today, we're going to visit the last two islands. We're going to Madhyadwip. So Madhyadwip, let me just move this. Madhyadwip represents Smarana, so remembering. And we're going to Naimisharanya, Hamsavahan, and Pushkar. And we're also going to Modadrumadwip, which represents the process of Dasyam, becoming a servant of the Lord. So we're going to two places, the house of Vasudev Datta. Remember a few days ago, I don't remember which day, but His Holiness Jayapataka Goswami was describing Vasudev Datta, this great devotee of Mahaprabhu who wanted to take the suffering of all the living entities in this world. So we'll hear about this wonderful devotee of the Lord. And we'll also go to the birthplace of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. So let me just share the screen now. Wait.
You must have heard the name Vasudev Datta, Mahaprabhu's favorite singer, in whose kirtan Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and all the devotees would go mad in ecstasy, chanting and dancing, hearing Vasudev Datta's kirtan. So where we are standing right now, this was the very home of Vasudev Datta. Some remnants are still here, as you can see. See these bricks? Old style bricks. So there was his house, Vrindavan Das Thakur, Saranga Murari, Vasudev Datta, they all lived here. Later on, of course, they moved to a different place. There are one famous pastime. There's quite a few pastimes that happened between Vasudev Datta and Sriman Mahaprabhu. I would just relate one. This was in Jagannath Puri. And one day Vasudev Datta goes to Mahaprabhu and says, "My Lord, you're the most merciful, you're independent Lord. I have a desire, if you can kindly fulfill that." Mahaprabhu was very pleased. Tell me whatever you want. There is nothing that I have that I will not give you. Tell me what you want. And Vasudev Datta says, "Vasudev bole Prabhu, ei deho bor, sarvajeev choli jauk Vaikuntha nagar." My Lord, please give me this benediction. that let all the living entities go back home, back to Godhead. Whatever sinful activities they may have performed, I am willing to go to hell eternally and suffer for all the living entities, but as a result of that, let everyone go back home, back to Godhead. Mahaprabhu began to cry simply listening to the prayers of Vasudeva Datta. He said, you don't have to go to hell, just the fact that you have desired everyone to go back home, back to Godhead, I will do that. Mahaprabhu said to the devotees that my body belongs to Vasudeva Datta. Datta ama jotha beche tothai bikai. Wherever he sells me, I am sold. I say it for again and again. Anyone who comes in contact with Vasudeva Datta, Krishna will personally protect that devotee. Why? Because he has come in contact with Vasudeva Datta. Sattva ami kohi suna Vaishnav Mandal. My dear Vaishnavas, please listen to me, Mahaprabhu says. E deho amar Vasudevar kebal. I say it again, that my body belongs to Vasudeva Datta. So this is how close Vasudeva Datta was to Mahaprabhu's heart. So being able to be in the same place, same house where Vasudeva Datta lived, Mahaprabhu says anyone who comes in contact with Vasudeva Datta, Krishna will personally protect him. So coming in contact with Vasudeva Datta's place of residence, even holding the same brick that gave shelter in the form of house to Vasudeva Datta, it's in a way of coming in contact with Vasudeva Datta. So we are very fortunate, blessed that we are standing in the same place where Vasudeva Datta lived and worshipped Mahaprabhu. So you can touch your forehead with this brick and feel the blessings. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we are in Modadrumadwip, in Vrindavan Das Thakur's Sripad. In Gaur Ganades Dipika, it is described that Vyasadeva himself has appeared as Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur appeared as the son of Narayani Devi and Sri Vaikuntanath. Actually, he was the last disciple of Nityananda Prabhu himself. Nityananda Prabhu accepted him as his own disciple and instructed him to write about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, being instructed by the Supreme Lord, Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat. Of course, when Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote, the book was entitled Chaitanya Mangal. Later on, the devotees have changed the name because he is known different from Vyasadeva, who wrote Bhagavatam. So as Vyasadeva, he wrote Bhagavat, and as Vrindavan Das Thakur, he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat. Vrindavan Das Thakur himself explains that whatever he has written in his book, either he has heard directly from Nityananda Prabhu, or he has taken from the book written by Murari Gupta Prabhu. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami glorifies the writings of Vrindavan Das Thakur, that anyone who hears the glories of Mahaprabhu and his associates written by Vrindavan Das Thakur, their heart will change. No doubt they will become devotees, and no doubt they will be delivered from this material world. So we are very, very fortunate that we are here in the Sripad of Vrindavan Das Thakur. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Modadrumadwip ki jai. Okay, now to Madhyadwip. I'm sorry if the sound is low, it's on maximum. I saw in the chat box that some devotees were suggesting if you have headphones, it's easier to hear. So I hope that's okay. I hope you're still able to hear. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So finally we are here in Madhyadwip in Naimisaranya. So the 7 sons of Lord Brahma, Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulasta, Pulaha, Kratu, Vaishishta, they approached their father, stating that they have heard that Sriman Mahaprabhu would appear in the beginning of Kali Yuga, and that they desire to have Gauranga Prem. They want to develop love of Gauranga, love of Godhead. Upon hearing the desire of his sons, Lord Brahma was very, very pleased. He said the best way to get the mercy of Lord Gauranga is to simply go to Navadvip Dham and just day and night simply chant the name of Gauranga. That's all, no other process. Simply go to Navadvipa Dham and chant the name of Gauranga. So the 7 sons of Lord Brahma, they came here. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Kichu nahi khai, nidra nahi jai. They did not eat, they did not sleep, but day and night simply cried out the name of Lord Gauranga. Mahaprabhu, being very, very merciful to the sons of Lord Brahma, in the middle of the day, midday, Mahaprabhu appeared in front of them in this very island. Because Mahaprabhu appeared on the midday around 12 noon, therefore this island is called Madhyadwip. We are in Naimisaranya on the bank of Gomati river. Anyone who takes the dust from this place in Naimisaranya, which is situated on the bank of Gomati, simply by taking the dust and putting on your head or putting on your body, you are freed from the sinful activities that have been committed for 100 lifetimes. Such glorious is this place. Lord Shiva, the greatest of Vaishnava, heard that Sutta Goswami is residing in Naimisaranya doing Gaur Bhagavat Katha. Sukadev Goswami, we know, has spoken Srimad Bhagavatam. But Lord Shiva heard that Sutta Goswami is doing Gaur Bhagavat. The class has already begun. The discourses already has begun. And Lord Shiva somehow or other wanted to reach this place as fast as possible. But we know that his career is Nandi, the bull. And sometimes the bull may not be as fast. So he requested Lord Brahma if he could use Lord Brahma's carrier, swan. Brahma very happily agreed. Taking the swan, Lord Brahma's carrier, very quickly Lord Shiva came to this very place where we are sitting. And he heard the Gaur Bhagavat from Sutta Goswami. Upon hearing the glories of Sriman Mahaprabhu, Lord Shiva fell unconscious. All his associates surrounded Lord Shiva here and began to chant and dance the name of Lord Gauranga. So this is the same very place of Naimisaranya where Sutta Goswami recited Gaur Bhagavat. So many millions and millions of rishis were here, devotees were here. Lord Shiva came with his associates, heard Gaur Bhagavat, chanted and danced with so many devotees. So we'll walk down there, just a minute walk from here. We'll take the holy water of Gomati, sprinkle on our head. Please take the dust, put it on your head. Then we'll go and take darshan of Hamsa Bahan. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. So right now we are in Madhyadwip in front of Hamsavahan temple. A beautiful deity is there where this amazing pastime of Lord Shiva, so eager to hear Gaur Bhagavat from Sutta Goswami, requesting Lord Brahma if we could use his carrier, the swan, to come here quickly. So in Hamsavahan, this pastime is beautifully manifested through this deity where Lord Shiva is lying down on a swan.
This is Mahadev, is lying down, this is his head, this is his hands on his chest, and this is his whole body here, so you can see, and this is the whole Hamsa or the swan. This is one of the wings, this is the wing, and this is the snake of Mahadev, and there all other demigods and Vishnu forms are also here. So this is the whole is the Hamsavan with Shivji in the center. Jai Hamsavan ki Jai.
Nityananda, Gauranga, Haribo.
Hare Krishna. So we are still in Madhyadwip and we are in Puskar Tirtha. Interestingly, right now is 12 o'clock, exactly 12 o'clock. Every single day in the morning and at 12 noon and in the evening, 3 sandhyas, 100 million holy places, they all gather here at this place, taking a dip, taking shelter, getting association of Puskar in Navadvipa Dham. So while we are here talking about Puskar, please know that according to scriptures, 100 million holy places are here. And therefore it is described, you don't need to go to any other place when you are in Navadvipa Dham. So there was a great devotee of Puskar, his name was Diva Das. His goal of life was to travel to Puskar, take a dip, take shelter of Puskar. When he came to this place in Navadvipa Dham, he had a dream, and in that dream the great personality told him, you don't need to go anywhere else, just be here and all your desire will be fulfilled. Getting this dream, he decided not to leave, he decided to stay here, and he stayed on till he got old. He couldn't walk anymore. Now he was walking with a stick somehow. Then he began to feel so sorry. Why did I listen to that dream? I should have just gone. Now I am old. Now I can't travel to Puskar. What will happen to me? Like this, he was just crying and crying. Puskar personified felt pity for this Brahmin. He appeared in the form of a Brahmana. He told Devadas, my dear Devadas, please do not worry. You will be able to take a dip at Puskar, in Puskar. So right in front of the Brahmin, this holy pond just appeared. And he said, this is Puskar, you go and take a dip. He took a dip, he came out, and the very personification of Puskar was just standing in front of him. He was so happy. He said, my Lord, this was my goal, to go and take a dip in your water. I am so fortunate and you're so kind that you have traveled all the way there, because Puskar is in Rajasthan. That you travel all the way from there to here. You're so kind. So Puskar said, I'm sorry, you're not right. I haven't traveled from there to here. Actually, I eternally reside here, and I have expanded myself in Rajasthan, but I eternally reside here. All the holy places, all the holy rivers, they eternally reside in Mayapur, Navadvip Dham. They reside in different places in Navadvip Dham. So in this place, in Madhyadwip, Pushkar eternally resides here. Here, in Bhakti Ratnakar it says, Je kore darshan, je koroye hetabas. Anyone who comes and takes darshan of Pushkar here, or one who resides in this area, he will develop Prabhupade hoy tar sudrira biswas. He will develop firm faith to the lotus feet of Krishna, Mahaprabhu, and he will never know what it is to go to hell and suffer. That means you do not have to go to hell. Je karaye adbhut sthaner kirtan. Anyone who glorifies about this place, he doesn't have to go to hell. Or to speak of one who hears attentively. In the Srimad Bhagavatam and also in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described that simply by hearing the glories of Mahaprabhu, you develop Krishna Prem. In the Bhagavatam, Sukata Goswami says, those who speak and those who hear, they get the same benefit. So all of us are here at the right place at the right time, an extra special time, because right now is midday and all the holy places are here. They are taking a dip, they are associating with each other, talking about Mahaprabhu, talking about Krishna. So now we will go and sprinkle some water of Pushkar and get his blessings, so that we may be able to surrender our life to Sriman Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. Pushkar Tirtha ki Gauranga.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Madhyadwip ki jai. Okay, so while we're waiting for maybe I see Tala Mataji. Oh, she's already here. So I just wanted to introduce you all to Mataji. She's Srila Prabhupada disciple, and she's extremely knowledgeable of all of our acharyas. She wrote an amazing book about Srila Narottam Das Thakur, and she's such a wonderful speaker. I've been trying to get her for so many programs, so I'm finally so happy, and I feel very fortunate that we can all receive her association. So thank you so much, Sitala Mataji, for giving us your time. And we're excited to hear from you about Lord Nityananda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, everything's okay? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm using some other computer that I'm not used to, so I'm just a little bit trying to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, we can see you and hear you like perfectly fine.
Okay, great. Well, we better hurry because we don't have long, right? So I'll just jump right in. And I'm happy to be here with all of you. It would be nice to meet you all. I know Gaurangi's doing this amazing program, enlivening everybody. One thing I will apologize in advance, because I don't know if you all saw, but there was just a program at the temple in Mayapur, and they did a little drama. And that was what I was going to speak on. So if I'm repeating something that you all just heard, well, there's no harm in it. But anyway, yeah, anyway, I will just offer my obeisances. Sorry, I just lost you. You're still there? Oh, Krishna.
Yes, we're here. And actually, there's like 200 of us, and they're not all from Mayapur. Like most are from around the world, so I don't think they saw the program.
Okay, no problem then.
But even then.
All right. All right. So let me just offer my obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vaslaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamane Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pacharani, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskachade Satarani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinda Vanchakapaturu Kripa Sindhavevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is this special, very special day where there's an opportunity for super special mercy. So we shouldn't miss out on it as much as possible, absorb ourselves. I'll just chant one verse just to make things, transcendental. Probably you all know it. Bande Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda Sahodito, Godo Dae Pushpavanto, Chitra Sando, Tamo Nudo. That means I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. They arose like the sun and the moon simultaneously on the horizon of Goda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and to wonderfully bestow benediction on all of us, on the world. And Nityananda Tattva, this is a very, very difficult, very confidential, vast understanding of something that's way over our heads. So there's no possibility of even going into any of that at this time. But just to be known that he is the first expansion of Krishna, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is considered the supreme personality of servitor Godhead. So he is known as the original spiritual master. So very important for us to try to understand, try to make a connection with him. So Garangi suggested that I talk about the pastimes between Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So we'll try to get to that. Of course, most of you will know that he was born in Ekachakra, and at the age of around 12 years old, suddenly he was taken away on travels. And maybe you don't know that he's maybe 10 or 12 years older than Mahaprabhu. So it's quite a bit that he spent 20 years just traveling on pilgrimage on his own, all throughout India, all over for 20 years, completely carefree and happy, but his identity being absolutely hidden. So during that time in Nadia, Mahaprabhu made his appearance, and he also was hidden. All of this is very, very confidential secrets where even great devotees didn't really know what is going on. First, they saw this beautiful Nimai that was just a naughty young boy, but for some reason, he was just drawing everyone's hearts to him. And then the arrogant scholar, and then he became a great devotee. But still, even some of the greatest, Srivas Pandit, Advaitacharya, they thought it was wonderful. Now Nimai Pandit has become, he's no longer a puffed up scholar, he's a great devotee. And but they didn't know that who he really was. They didn't know that he's a supreme personality of Godhead. So all of this was hidden up to a point. And then gradually, as Nitai was traveling all over the continent, and he arrived in Vrindavan, where he remembered his pastimes as Balaram, and he started to play like he was as Balaram. No one could understand him, and no one knew who was this person. But as soon as the Sankirtan pastime started here in Navadvip, then he understood. Now is the time. Now is a time for me to go and meet my brother. So Lord Nityananda traveled on foot from Vrindavan, and he came to Navadvip, And just right down the road, just a few yards away from where I'm sitting right now, he came there to Nandanacharya's house. And Nandanacharya had no idea who is this, but such an extraordinary, beautiful, powerful looking sadhu wanted to come into his house. Sure, come on in. But he didn't know, who is he? And meanwhile, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met with his devotees and he told them, he said, last night I had an amazing and wonderful dream. And he explained it to his devotees. He said, I saw a chariot. It came and it was right in front of my door. And the chariot had a flag with a palm leaf drawn on it. And that chariot, I could understand, was meant to carry one from this temporary material existence to the absolute reality. And then I saw on the chariot was a colossal figure, and he had a plow on he had these large shoulders, and he was carrying a plow, and he was moving restlessly on the chariot. In his left hand, he carried a renunciate's water pot. And both of his upper cloth and his lower cloth were of a blue color. And he had a beautiful, in one ear, he had a beautiful earring on his earlobe. And his whole appearance and his whole demeanor, I thought, this must be Balaram. And then that personality, he said like 10 or 20 times, he said, does this house belong to Nimai Pandit? Does this house belong to Nimai Pandit? And I'd never seen such a personality, such a formidable mendicant, that I felt overwhelmed with respect for this person. So I asked him, I see that you are a great personality. Who are you? And so smiling, he replied, I'm your brother. And tomorrow we shall get to know each other. And, these words just made me so happy. And I began to feel that he and I were actually the same person. So explaining all these things, then Mahaprabhu went into an ecstatic trance and just talking about what he'd seen in this dream. And he started calling out, bring me wine, bring me wine. Now imagine that. Like, what? The devotees were like a little afraid, and they were standing back and, why is he saying that? What's going on? Something extraordinary. And, devotees were trying to, and Maharaj Gupta said, well, I think the dream means that there's a great personality that's come to Navadvip, and we should try and meet him. And then Srivas said, and anyway, the wine that you want, that is, the ecstasy that's received only from you. So you should please distribute your wine to yourself and to all of us, and then we can all be in ecstasy. So they were just trying to handle, what was going on with Mahaprabhu, because he was wild with, explaining this dream. So then Mahaprabhu said, yes, we should find him. So he told Haridas Thakur and Srivas Pandit, go out, look for this person. Maybe he's here. So, off they went, and they scoured everywhere, all over Navadvip. I mean, but this is some very mysterious person. Who are we even looking for? They really had no idea. So eventually they came back, not finding, and Lord Chaitanya smiled, and he, knowing that this is a very mysterious and a very confidential person. And that so much so that even these great souls, I mean, Haridas Thakur, Srivas Pandit, they couldn't find him. So, there's some indications here that it's not possible, what to speak of these great souls. Think of us. How do we find Nityananda? How do we make that connection? How do we see him? And so this pastime is, one of the things that's showing us that this is, this is a secret that needs to be revealed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu within our hearts. And when the time is right, that is certainly possible for every single one of us, no matter where we are, who we are. It is possible, but we have to go through the right, show our sincerity, and eventually that wonderful vision is waiting for us. So anyway, Lord Chaitanya said, I know where he is, let's go. So off they went directly. They walked straight to Nandanacharya's house, and they walked in and they saw this effulgent personality. It said like sweet smile, effulgent like millions of moons. And everyone just fell flat on the ground in obeisances and couldn't speak. They were speechless, to just see him. They said because he was actually showing himself to them. Maybe he'd been traveling all over India and nobody had been affected like that, but because he was showing himself. So when the Lord wants to show himself to us, then we can get a glimpse and we can be certainly overwhelmed in ecstasy at such a sight. But anyway, there was Mahaprabhu at the front of the devotees, and Nityananda and Mahaprabhu looking at each other in stunned silence. These both exquisitely beautiful personalities, enchanted by each other, just staring, stunned and speechless. And it was said that Lord Nityananda, when he saw Lord Chaitanya, he was so beautiful that he wanted to taste the beauty with his tongue, and he wanted to drink the beauty with his eyes, and he wanted to embrace the beauty with his arms. And, in so many ways, he was just completely overwhelmed and enchanted by the wondrous splendor of Lord Chaitanya. And meanwhile, the devotees are watching this. They have no idea what's going on. It's astonishing to see these two personalities. But Lord Chaitanya knew the heart of Lord Nityananda. And so he revealed himself only to Nityananda. To everyone else, his identity was hidden. But Lord Nityananda, suddenly, that Gora that was standing before him was instead now wearing a peacock feather, had a blue flower behind his ear, and in yellow brilliant garments, and playing his flute. And there were cowherd boys all around him singing his glories. So this is what Lord Nityananda was seeing when he was looking at Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya understood. So he said to Srivas, he said, recite some verses from the Bhagavatam. And Srivas always understood. This is a real servant, is that he always understands what the master, what is the mood, what is the rasa. So he said exactly the verses that would make Lord Nityananda fall unconscious and reveal his ecstasy, how he became mad with love, and it kept increasing the more he was hearing. And the devotees were afraid because he was jumping and dancing, and the madness of love. It's interesting, isn't it, to just see that what is the potential for loving relationship, spiritually, because in this world, even that's all that everybody's looking for. But what we get is just the teeny, tiny little drop in the bucket. But here we're seeing, what happens on the spiritual platform, real joy, real ecstasy, real love that totally transforms one. And so the intensity of this exchange, it's actually impossible to describe. But Lord Chaitanya said after meeting with Nityananda that this is the most glorious day of my life. for Mahaprabhu to say that. Imagine us, if we were to see Nitai, that would certainly be the most glorious day of our life. And he said, today I've seen the embodiment of love and the essence of all the four Vedas. And only the Supreme Lord himself could manifest the kind of intense ecstasy that he's showing. So I know that you are non-different from him. So as the two lords, it's pretty amazing because it's the Supreme Personality of Godhead speaking to the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. They're actually one. These things are really beyond, the ordinary, what we can understand. We're so tiny. But Mahaprabhu was saying that even a moment's association with you could dissolve millions and millions of sins. And he went on and on and on. He was unaware of the passing of time, and Lord Chaitanya just couldn't stop glorifying Lord Chaitanya. And they communicated with each other in very confidential ways, mysterious ways that nobody else could understand. But Lord Chaitanya then asked him, from where did you come? From what direction? And Lord Nityananda was, his nature and his characteristics is that he's very childlike and innocent, not childish, childlike, innocent, joyful. And he felt very shy and ashamed even that Lord Chaitanya was glorifying him. But he explained that I toured all the holy places, but to me, all the altars, they looked empty. But then I heard that when I was in Vrindavan, I heard the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in Nadia, and that even the most wretched souls could get liberation from him. So I am an abominable wretch, so I've come here. And so Vishwambara said, well, actually, we're the most fortunate of devotees to have your association. So meanwhile, the devotees are all there. Who are they? Because they don't even know who, and all of them don't know who Lord Chaitanya is yet. It's quite interesting to see how the pastimes unfold and the understanding of who each other are and who is Nimai. Over time, that happens. It's very interesting, very exciting, actually, as things get revealed. But, some of them were thinking, maybe it's Krishna and Arjuna, maybe they're Balaram and Krishna, maybe it's Ram and Lakshman. Who knows? Something extraordinary is going on here. Anyway, it's said that even just to hear about this simple meeting, it frees one. It can free one from all material bondage. So, just hearing this story, we're being benefited. But then Nitai, of course, he joined with all the devotees. So now everyone was there. So now the Sankirtan mission could really start to explode, actually, to open up. Nityananda Prabhu lived in the house of Srivas Pandit, and he was like a child there. Malini used to feed him with her own hand, and sometimes he would, just jump in the Ganga and grab onto a crocodile. I guess there used to be crocodiles in the Ganga. I don't know if they're still in there. But he was hard to understand. But one day, Mahaprabhu said to Nitai that he gave him his mission. And this is very telling because, of course, we said he is the original spiritual master. So wouldn't it be natural for him to be the first one to begin going door to door and spreading the Krishna consciousness movement? So Mahaprabhu said to him, I want you to go with Haridas Thakur and go door to door and just tell everyone, chant Hare Krishna, worship Krishna, Krishna's your real wealth, he's your mother, he's your father, he's everything. And do not discriminate. Just tell everybody and go every day and do this, and then you can report to me. And the idea behind this of Nityananda Prabhu taking this position is because he's an avadut. So he could kind of do things that Lord Chaitanya couldn't. So he was leading the Sankirtan pastimes in many ways. And of course, we've heard that that his mood and his focus was always that he wanted to go to like the worst or the most corrupt or the most sinful and save them. Like isn't that fortunate for us? And we know the story. I'm sure all of you know of Jagai and Madai. But there's another story I'll tell a little bit about. Do we have time? Yeah, we have some time. Is it okay? We do have time, yeah. Yes. There's a story of one time when, as you may know, Nityananda Prabhu loved to dress up. He loved to put lots of gold, jewels. He was gorgeous. And so some rogues and thieves, they saw, wow, look at that jewelry. Look at our, we're going to get that. We're going to steal that. So they made a plan. And at that time, Nityananda Prabhu was staying in the house of Hiranya Pandit. And so these dacoits, they all got together and they took their daggers and their swords with the intention that they were going to attack Nityananda Prabhu and they were going to steal all his ornaments. And so they went there and then, trying to scout it out, at the house. And they saw that there was this big Sankirtan going on. Everyone was singing and dancing and they're waiting and waiting. They say, well, we'll just wait till they're finished. But, this kind of Sankirtan, it goes on all night. So they fell asleep and were very disappointed in the morning. But then they thought, well, maybe we didn't worship Goddess Durga properly before we came here. So maybe we should do that and we'll try again the next night. And so then the next night they came again and they got close to the house and they saw these massive, giant soldiers that were in all four directions that were guarding. They had big weapons on them and they were guarding all around the house and they were chanting loudly, Hare Krishna, and walking back and forth. And, the dacoits were totally mystified. Who are these people? Where did they come from? What is it? But they just quickly left. They thought, well, they're not going to stay there forever, so we'll just wait. So they waited some days, and then they went back again. And when they got close to the house, they suddenly all went blind. And then they were falling into ditches, and they were being beaten by leeches and stung by wasps and scorpions. And they were falling in thorns and they were breaking their limbs. And then suddenly there was like a huge storm, lightning, hail, and it suddenly became very, very cold. And so the leader of the dacoits, gradually, as all of this is happening, he starts to get some revelation from in his heart. That's kind of how it happens often for many people, that when we start suffering enough, we start calling out to God, help. Oh, we start getting some genuine realization. And so in the same way, somehow because of the mercy of Lord Nityananda, that king of the thieves, he had a change of heart. He had a change of heart. And he prayed. He actually, all of them realized, who is this personality? Is so great. And they just came up to the house, broke inside, and started crying, falling on the ground and begging forgiveness. And of course, this is just what Lord Nityananda loves, to lift up the most fallen. And they were certainly he restored their sight and he relieved them from their suffering and he fully blessed them. And they became completely intoxicated with love of God. So, so this is just an example of, the mercy of Lord Nityananda that is available. And it says also with this story that if one hears this story, one is assured of seeing Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda face to face. That is pretty encouraging just by listening to that story. So Lord Nityananda's, his mercy is inconceivable, his compassion is inconceivable. And for us, it's relevant. It's not just a story to entertain us, but to know we're also thieves. We're always trying to plunder the wealth of the Lord. We want things that belong to the Lord for ourselves, and we're not so much unlike them, you know. So we need to understand how important it is to really take shelter of Lord Nityananda or Lord Nityananda's representatives as all of our gurus that are representing Lord Nityananda, that shelter is absolutely essential. And, you know, one time, actually, Srila Prabhupada, you know, he came in that exact same spirit of Lord Nityananda. That's how he came to us. There's one story that shows how Prabhupada's compassion was so much like Lord Nityananda. There was one devotee in early days who was quite a rascal, and he was collecting money supposedly for life membership, and he was just keeping all the money. And Tamal Krishnaraj was very upset, and he told Prabhupada, and he said we should warn our members, you know. But he could see that Prabhupada, he didn't say yes, do it. He was very hesitant, so you know, he left it. But then that devotee started doing more things and more things, and you know, Tamal said, "Oh, this just reached its limit. You know, we got to do something." And then Srila Prabhupada said, "You do not know about Lord Nityananda's mercy. There is no limit to Lord Nityananda's mercy and his compassion. There's no end to his forgiveness." And interestingly, that devotee, eventually he did come back. He did have troubles again later. But anyway, the point is that Srila Prabhupada, it was a most rare, I know of maybe one time or two times that Srila Prabhupada would just not reject anyone. Just a perfect representative of Lord Nityananda going into the Bowery where the drunks and the fallen and the drug addicts, everything, and just purifying everyone. We saw it happen with our own eyes. Miraculous, just like Lord Nityananda. And we have seen many other examples here of devotees receiving incredible mercy from Lord Nityananda. I could tell a story, but it might take, we're already at 7:30, are we?
It's okay.
Are you there, Gurangi?
Yeah, please keep going.
Okay, I'll just tell this one story, and because it's nice to hear that these are not just stories that are like, you know, fiction or mythology, you know, that this mercy of Lord Nityananda is flowing to us today. It continues on and on. It's ever present, and he is ever present. He is here. We're in Navadvipa Dham. It's not like he's dead and gone or something. These pastimes, they're going on. I mean, one day, and that's one of the reasons that I like to read about the previous acharyas and study them, because you see, you know, personalities that actually attain these states of pure Krishna consciousness, and they see the pastimes going on today. There's hundreds of stories like that, but no time. But just one kind of sweet thing that happened, because this is like a very, what I would say, what we would call a very ordinary devotee. Her name is Bhava Priya. And I think it was in the 80s, late 80s maybe, but Bhava Priya had come here to leave her body. She knew she had advanced leukemia. And Bhava Priya was a very simple woman. Like, you might even think, you know, maybe in my offensive way, you know, a little bit of a simpleton. And you know, she came and she was saying, yeah, she said very nonchalantly, I came to leave my body. And I was thinking, oh, she has no idea. You know, there's so many stages and so many, because I have watched many people depart this world. And she was very nonchalant, and she was sitting there eating a piece of pizza in front of the temple. And I was like, wow, you got a long way to go. And, but that was just, it was totally wrong. But anyway, to make a long story short, she, suddenly one day I went over, she didn't seem that sick really, but one day I used to stop by and just see if she was okay, and she was always okay. But this time she was laying down for the first time I saw her laying on the front couch. And I said, "Oh, you're not feeling well?" She said, "Yeah, I don't feel so good." And I mean, I don't feel so good lots of days, so I wasn't like really concerned. And so I said, well, maybe somebody can come. Would you like somebody to come and, be with you or read to you or something? Because she was on her own. Yeah, if somebody wants to. So when I was leaving, my god sister, Ananga Manjari, she just happened to be passing by. I said, Bhava Priya is a little, she feels sick, if you feel like stopping in and go see her. So she did. So about 3 hours later, a little kid knocks on my door and wanted something. I don't remember what. And it was because they were asking for something they needed because Bhava Priya had left her body. And so I was just shocked. And so I went back, we went back, and it was the first foreign devotee who had left their body in Mayapur, as far as I know, at least Westerner. And so later I heard the story from Ananga Manjari that when I asked her to go in there, it was like Super Soul told her, you should go. And so she went in there, and when she got in there, she thought she's going to leave her body. Somehow, Krishna just, when he wants to give us some information, he just gives it. And even though it was, very, very surprising. So she said, I'm just staying with her. So, she stayed with her and she talked with her, and she went through different stages. She said she was very frightened. And she said, well, what is it you're frightened of? Well, I don't know. Where am I going to go? And if I go to the spiritual world, what will I do there? And Ananga says, well, you're going to serve the devotees and you're going to cook for the devotees, just like you did here. And she's like, oh, okay. She was like very, very accepting. She had like some anxieties, but she was very. And then Ananga said, and there was many conversations that were really interesting, but, just to get to the point about it, is that at one point Ananga felt guided to say, she said, Baba, you have nothing to worry about because, you're going to get so much mercy from Lord Nityananda. And Baba said, yeah, really? Why? How come? And then Ananga said, because you're so simple and you love to serve the devotees and you're just simple-hearted in that service. And she's like, yeah, okay. And she felt like really happy by hearing that. And Ananga's thinking, I don't know where this is coming from, but she's just saying what she feels inspired. So very shortly afterwards, Bhava Priya just very peacefully left her body. And at the moment when she left her body, they hadn't even, the son had come. So it was Ananga and her son, and they were on either side of her. And they just had looked up at each other to think, oh, I think she's gone. But they hadn't spoken a word yet. And at that moment, another devotee, I think it was Rachitandra, she just came into the room, and she didn't know anything. She just came to visit, and she came in and she had this huge garland, and she said, Baba, I just came from Ekachakra and I brought you Lord Nityananda's garland. And then she's walking, and then she sees her and she goes, wow. And they look up and they're just like stunned. And so she just laid this Nityananda garland over her whole body, and it was just totally ecstatic. And then when everyone came, all the devotees came because we hadn't had this experience so much before of, a younger person departing. And And so everyone was there and realizing, feeling that there was so much ecstasy. Like even the Indians around were like, why everyone is so jubilant? There was like this incredible joy. And when we took her body, there was a double rainbow that suddenly came over her where they were burning her, and a divyasnan, which means, the sun's out and yet light rain is coming. And literally everybody, Janani, everybody's like, wow, this woman, she got the mercy. And, you just, who would have known? Who would have known? And everyone felt very humbled. I mean, the topics for the Bhagavatam class for a few days, they were like, we became small because, I don't know, we all have different ideas about how great we are or how much better than somebody else we are or whatever, or that this person's not so smart or whatever we may think, and we really don't know. Someone may be so close to Krishna, and it's a blessing to have their association. And sometimes we only realize it after somebody departs. So anyway, I think I think we can just take some inspiration from that, and on this day pray for the mercy of Lord. The more than cooling millions of moons is supposed to be Lord Nityananda's mercy. Just to pray for that, because we see it's possible. It's not stories from the past. It's not, just way back when with the great devotees. It's happening now. It exists now. And it's just our choice. Do we want it? Do we want to try for it? That's our choice. That's our freedom. And so we should make the best use of our freedom as far as possible. Anyway, I think that's that's pretty much covers things.
Wow, Mataji, like your class was just so, sometimes I find it hard to focus, like in classes, for like a long period of time. I was just so absorbed. It was so beautiful, like for real, like my heart just feels so full.
That's
So
good.
much about speaking about Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Yeah, we're getting comments on the chat box saying, Mataji, we want you to speak more.
Thank you so much. It's not me, it's the subject matter.
Oh, we can feel your love, and it was a blessing to have you.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to be here. I'm very happy to be here. Do you end now, or do people ask questions? Or I think it's over the time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, usually, like if you have more time, I mean, we're still like more than 150 here. No one left. Everyone's just so absorbed. So if you have some time to answer a few questions.
I don't mind if you want for a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, great. Okay, we have lots of questions. I don't even know how to choose. Okay. Pavika Sachdeva. Oh, I don't know where she went. Okay, Hari Priya.
Yes, Mataji. I just had like a question. So, if we ever want to like at the end of life, if we ever want to like you to what's the example of that Mataji, and she left her body. So if in the same, if we need to like we need to like leave our bodies like suddenly, so what should we do like at the last moment so that we can achieve our achieve.
I'm not sure if I got the question. Garangi, did you get it? Can you repeat?
It was the question, how can we prepare ourselves for the last moment, because death might come suddenly? I think that was the question.
Yes, and I'm seeing that is a fact. I mean, even in the last few days, there have been 3 people that I've heard about that are departing this world. One of them quite young, the other one, yeah, you just don't know. So it's not like, well, we can just wait till we get older. I got to get my life together and I got to get this. And, you feel like that when you're younger, there's so many things that I've got to get together. But like my friend who just came to visit Mayapur, her son was 14 years old and he just got in a car accident and was gone. And, she's still, it's 20 years later and she's still, it happened yesterday on that day, Varaha's appearance. And, she's still, going through the trauma of, because we think we're going to be here. We just do. We think we're going to be here like forever. Even though theoretically we say, yeah, birth, old age, disease, and death, but that's what you see the other people. But in the meanwhile, I'm just acting in a way that as if I'm going to be here forever. And, I got to get this security. I have to do my, not that we shouldn't do these things, but I'm just saying that it is hard to actually, because it's unnatural for the soul it doesn't die. So, it's very bizarre, the fact that things are just going to end, everything that you work for and everything, who you think you are, this body we're in and this package that we're, and, but that's why it's, always recommended in the Bhagavatam that you've got to start this from the youngest of age, this awareness, because it doesn't just suddenly come necessarily. It's something we cultivate throughout our entire life, that we're, Krishna consciousness. It doesn't mean that you join something and you put on tilak or and then it makes it happen. It's consciousness. It's that your consciousness changes. So even though you might be looking like you're doing what everybody else is doing, but your consciousness is completely different. It's always Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. It's always trying to see the eternal aspect. It's always looking at people and not judging them by the box and the package that they're in, but seeing past that. And that's like any skill, if you want to learn to play tennis or you want to learn anything, how to be a surgeon, you've got to practice and practice and practice and, be training yourself. That's what sadhana is. It's all day when you're at work, when you're at school, when you're with your family. It's a sadhana going on. It's not a religion like one day a week I go and I try and do a pious thing so I don't get bad stuff happening. It's something completely different, and it's cultivated. And if you cultivate it, even if we don't do it fabulously, not everybody is going to do all of it perfectly. And that's not what Krishna cares about. It's not what Krishna's looking at. He's looking at your heart. Like according to your, the modes of nature and your karmic situation that you're born into, everyone has different capacities. You can't compare yourself to somebody else. Oh, well, she does it like this, and so I should do it like, we have to be who we are. And Krishna, it doesn't matter if you only can do a small thing, a very small thing, but a very small thing done sincerely is way better than doing tons of stuff to just promote yourself as a great devotee or something, So it's a practice. And if you're practicing and if you're trying, even if you're not, if the intention is there, Prabhupada said that even if you cannot think at the time of death, if you can't think of Krishna, then I will come, or Mahaprabhu will come, someone will come and enter into your consciousness if you are unable. And I have seen already, I have seen many miraculous things with people departing, and not just devotees, even like family members, parents of devotees having, I mean, my parent, I'd need another hour to tell those stories, but things that happen that just because they're connected with somebody that's trying to be a devotee, they also got incredible mercy at the time of death. So it's no joke. And that's the thing that Prabhupada conveyed to us so strongly, this sense of urgency. It's not just, oh yeah, let's go have a kirtan. It's like you have got a human form of life, and that is rare. And it's the only key out. It's the only door you can exit. You can stop this again and again. Birth, disease, old age, and death. And it is hellish. And believe me, when you get old, you really get it a lot more. You really understand the things that we just used to regurgitate. But now I'm like, oh yeah, oof, man, it is really hard to get old, and your friends dying and all these things. It's no joke, and so we need to have some sense of urgency, that priority, this is the priority, that becoming Krishna conscious somehow or another doesn't mean I have to quit, being motivated to achieve things or anything, not at all. Whatever you do, whatever, but cultivating your consciousness of Krishna, it is so urgent. And Prabhupada he really fully understood that. And that's why he could convey it to us, even though we were so young when we first met him. We got it. And so it was like urgent. We got to get out there. We got to tell people we've got a mission. We got, it was very dynamic. The problem is once you establish things and it's all there, it's like you take it for granted and you can kind of kick back and get lazy. And there's all different varieties of anarthas at every stage of life that can distract you from the goal. But it's just so important because you have the potential. Every living entity has the same qualities as Krishna. It means you already are everything that's needed. You already have everything that's needed. It's just, you are made of Sat Chit Ananda. So it's just a question, do I want to uncover that? Or do I want to just work on my material identity, which is going to be ripped away from me, no matter how well I do it, So it's kind of dumbing ourselves down when we don't try for our highest potential that a soul has. We have such potential. And it's not that, it happens in a minute. It doesn't. I mean, even if you want to be a doctor, it doesn't happen in a minute. It takes time. It takes work. It takes, sincerity. And Krishna needs to know that your heart is actually, the right intention. And, but, so in short, the answer is that, we have to cultivate, and if we're sincere, then we will be prepared. We will be prepared. And if we're not so able, then Nityananda Prabhu is the most merciful, and he may appear before you. Like there was a god sister, she's not a god sister, but a very, very, very wonderful devotee who left her body 10 years ago here in Mayapur. And she is such a sweetheart, just, but who would know? Who knows? She's just a wonderful wife and a wonderful, very shy and not out in the front. And, so she was in a lot of pain, but she was not showing it, and she wasn't taking pain medication. So her husband said, how are you handling this? I mean, do you need some pain medication? She said, no, I know how to deal with it, very sweetly and humbly. I know how to deal with it. And he said, oh, well, what are you doing? And she said, well, I go to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda and I sit on the flower on his feet, and the pain goes away. And he kind of like, it was such a shocking, she said it so nonchalantly. Her husband kind of went, what, you know? And then she just very serious, she said, I can do it. And then we knew that that was for real. She's like this very, very humble devotee. And that somehow she was just getting this mercy that was extraordinary, you know, because she was taking shelter in the right place at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. So that's the answer that I can come up with to that question. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
How can we get the mercy of
Are
Lord
you like 4 years
Nityananda?
old or what?
No, I'm
You
not.
sound so young.
I'm 11.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear your question.
Mataji, how can we get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, as you told that today is a golden opportunity to get the mercy?
Well, you know, I can only repeat things that I've heard because I would not say that I've really achieved that state. But I do know that Lord Nityananda, he's very easy to please. And so just sincerely, but what he really likes is he likes to see Krishna consciousness given to people, especially fallen people. He likes that. So it's like when you want to, you know, get to love somebody or get somebody to love you, you know, you like to do the things, try to do the things that they like. So that's what Lord Nityananda likes. So I have no doubt that if you try to do something like just, you know, your friends in school or whatever, and just say Hare Krishna or give them some prasadam, you know, it doesn't have to be like some big preachy something or other. It's just that you have the intention, to give somebody something higher than what they have. You know, like when I was a young girl and we had to do Sankirtan all the time, we were taught this, what we called the Sankirtan yoga. And it was that wherever we go and whoever we meet, we just have to, we have to have the consciousness that I'm talking to the soul. I'm not looking at this bodily situation. I'm talking to the soul, and Krishna's in that heart. And so I'm just going to approach them and try to give them the love that we have received. And there are remarkable, endless stories, Sankirtan stories, of how people, they don't know why, but they know that you are doing something that they haven't experienced before. Because, you know, material relationships are a certain way. And, you know, when you're coming with a purely spiritual intention, it comes across, people trust you. Like I've had people tell me, oh, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I never even told my wife, you know, and, you know, because suddenly they trust that you have no ulterior motive. You're trying to touch the soul, you know, so yes, we just, if we have the intention to try to please Lord Nityananda, that's it. That's enough. We just have that intention. We think about it. We try to do something and think, do you like that? I hope you like it. Anything else?
We have like 10 hands up, so Shrihita.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji, for today's class, Mataji, especially about Lord Nityananda Prabhu's pastimes and how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Lord Nityananda Prabhu. That was very beautiful. Mataji, I have a doubt, Mataji, especially regarding the last part that you said, how that She was a very simple-hearted person, and most importantly, she liked serving Vaishnavas. So, Mati, my question is that sometimes when we are actually serving Vaishnavas, or when we are actually associating with very high-level devotees, like very pure Vaishnavas, we tend to commit offenses. So, when Vaishnava Parada happens, complete stagnation happens in Krishna consciousness. So my question is that sometimes we may commit aparads and we don't even know unto whom we must have committed the aparads. So in that sort of cases, we see that in our lives there is so much stagnation. Like we're not even going to temple properly, and then we're not even able to take Harinam Prabhu in the morning, in the Brahma Muhurat, and everything slowly starts to fade away. So my question is that in that sort of time, then how do we even we don't even know who the other person is, so how do we even, like, what do we do in that situation, especially? And then even more and more we see that the anarthas become so prominent in us, and that we completely go away from Krishna consciousness. In order for that not to happen, in order to get back again very seriously in chanting and judging them again and not making any more aparads, so what do we do, Mataji? Like, how do we change our consciousness also at the same time?
Well, like I said, we shouldn't think that it happens in a snap. You have to know that we're babies. We're just little babies, like in diapers, and when they're learning to walk, they fall, they get up, they fall, they get up, and eventually they walk. But to think, somehow we think that, well, I spent 1 year, 2 years trying to do this, or even 50 years. It's nothing for the eternal soul that's been unlimited lifetimes of conditioning, unlimitedly. We have been offensive. So we're learning a new way of being. And it's like you can't do it. It's not just a phony thing. Oh, Prabhu, I want to be offenseless or something, and you act all humble, but in your heart, you don't feel that way. It's not about your changing your behavior. It's about cleansing the heart. And when the heart becomes cleansed, then you lose the tendency to offend others. But it doesn't happen overnight. It really doesn't. You have to just keep trying, because that's what we do. It's just like when you're going to school, that if you want to be something, you've got 6 years of study and hard work and everything. So to think that we would have these highest realizations and feelings without putting in the work that you have, even as much more than what you would have to do for just some simple material goal, that's kind of naive. That, oh, I've been trying for, I've been chanting for 6 months, and where's the prema? It's that determination that there's nothing else worth doing. There's nothing. I can't suddenly become offenseless. But if I'm praying to Krishna that I don't like to be offensive, and sometimes we don't even know, it might take years and years before you even see offenses that you make. You might think, I've seen this, that sometimes you think you're like doing great and you don't even see. And then all of a sudden, Krishna like pulls back opens up another door, and you go, oh my God, there's a whole bunch of skeletons in there. And, there's a lot of dark stuff that you never even saw before. Oh, I am envious. Oh gosh, I'm not like what I thought I was. But those are good realizations. We should not just look for, I want to find out that I'm a really good devotee. It's not like that, and that's why you see even the greatest of the devotees lament over their condition in material life. It's hard to understand, but when you really know Krishna, you really know how small you are. So that's how they can talk like that. But like Jagai and Madai, they came to Nityananda after they felt so bad. Somebody's tried to, hit him, crack Lord Nityananda's head. Imagine how bad you would feel to do such a thing. And so Lord Nityananda said, well, then you serve the Vaishnavas, you build a ghat. So they have the Jagai Madai ghat. So they built a ghat and, served all the people that came. And, it is a fact that we don't always know, who we may have offended or whatever. But just by, feeling remorseful and wanting to be a better servant, it happens, but it requires patience, a lot of patience. We don't expect, like so much to happen so fast. Patience, but determination. I'm not going to stop doing this. Even if I fell down, I'll get up again. If I fell down, I'll get up. And that's what Prabhupada always said. Like so many, we were all young people, we were like making mistakes all the time. And Prabhupada, he never needed to hear all the details of the bad things somebody did. He said, just get up and keep going. You're in this race, you fell down, you get up and get back on the, and, so we don't have to mental out about things. We just know that maybe it will take a long, long time for me to go back to Godhead. Is that okay? Yeah, it is okay. And maybe somebody that's right next to you might go back to Godhead tomorrow. Now, are we going to be jealous? Or are we going to, we're all individual spirit souls. And we're all, we might, even if we're from the same kind of family and same background, but our journeys have all been very unique and different. And some people may have been practicing for many lifetimes. And I might have just started this time, so we've just got to do our own work. We don't have to worry about anybody else's and just be determined. This is worth whatever stress, anxiety, or disappointment I feel, or, falling down and then getting up again. It's worth it. What else is what else is a better thing to do? We just, okay, Krishna doesn't see what you don't do. He sees what you do. And that's what's so merciful. We're kind of tend to be the opposite, You see, I didn't do this and do that, and not good at this, and but actually Krishna doesn't pay much attention at all, and the spiritual master, to those things where we fail. They see the effort, and they love to see us trying. It's like, parents, when they see their kids trying to do something and maybe they're not doing it, but they like to see them trying, so we have to just keep trying. I think we should end now, unless there's something on this one. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Rangi here still? Or?
Yes, thank you so much, Mataji, for real. It was like, class is really like amazing when you actually want to like change and improve. So that's how we're all feeling.
That's good. Let's all try.
Take
Okay.
that urgency.
Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you all. See you all here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
So Hare Krishna, everyone. I'm so happy that we had Sita Mataji, just so amazing. Even if you wanted to space out or be distracted, it was impossible to. At least that's how I felt. And I saw that in the chat box, and many felt like that. So then, fortunately, this is, we're going to say Haribol now, but I know in Bengali, I don't know, okay, maybe Kaushik or somebody knows. In Bengali, you don't say like goodbye, you say like see you again or something like that. I don't know what the Bengali saying is. So if somebody knows, they can like write on the chat box. So then, anyway, so we don't have to say Haribol like in goodbye, because we'll see each other very soon. Oh, abar dekha hobe. I don't know if I said it right. Abar dekha hobe. Yeah. So then, or aschi pore abar dekha hobe. Okay, I need to learn Bengali. So we'll see everybody soon. So the next challenge is Vaishak month challenge. This one was also mentioned by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. That's in April, so we have 2 months. And then before that, if we have any other, please stay on the WhatsApp channel. If we have any other programs or anything, any new books or resources or games coming up, we'll post it there. I also wanted to say like a big thank you to our whole Bhakti Kids team, even though like you're seeing me in the Zoom Sangas, but there's a whole team involved in this, like Jayanta, he's here online, Jayanta Rai, he edited all the videos for the parikram for like 1 month. We were working together. It was like a lot of work. And then also so many other devotees like Achintya Priya Mataji and her team, they were preparing the activity booklets, researching for the pastimes. And then Tulsi Maharani Mataji was preparing the certificates, and like there's just a whole group. So just wanted to, please pray for all of us. And we can both pray to Pancha Tattva for each other so that we can be inspired in Krishna consciousness. We can receive the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu and just have our hearts just full of for Mahaprabhu and Pancha Tattva. So then, please just keep checking the WhatsApp channel. I'll send more announcements, the feedback form with the little online gift. Then we'll announce when the certificates are coming out, and also if you'd like to contribute and donate towards Bhakti Kids. So I feel really blessed that I had all of your association, because all of your association inspired me to, absorb myself more in Mahaprabhu's mercy. So thank you so much. So Gauranga and Nityananda, Jai Shri Shri Pancha Tattva ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Navadvipa Dham ki Jai. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Where to post the Nityananda?
Hare Krishna, Abar
Give the site where to post the drawing. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Wishing everybody a happy Trayadashi.
Mataji, can you give the site where to post the drawings? Nityananda, Mataji, can you hear? I've been posting.
Something about posting drawings or other activities and pictures. So on the WhatsApp channel, I put a link to the Google Drive, so you can add any pictures, like you cooking for Gornitai and distributing a book or drawings, anything you can put up there, and then we can post it. Because I know you've tagged us, but when you just put on a story, it's only there for 24 hours. So then if you send it to us, then we can actually make a post about it, maybe include some of them in the video report. We updated the access, so you can upload. I saw some files there that you can upload it. I'll put it also again in the WhatsApp channel. So thank you everyone so much. And Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Pancha Kalpa